Greetings everybody, Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on this Zikit Pro Kit snare drum system installed in this beautiful Sonor AQ2 snare drum. Let's go. I've been in the music business for a very long time, and it's pretty rare that I see a piece of gear that is new that I've never seen before. It's like a new invention. It's pretty crazy. And Zikit made a cool piece of gear that turns your 14-inch snare drum into 3 drums. Simply turn the crank on the side of the drum and you turn your drum into a 12-inch snare drum or a 10-inch snare drum, and I'll show you the system here in just a second. But first, before I do that, let's play this a little bit more with the snare wires off. It's just a really cool piece of gear. Check out how this sounds. How cool is that? 3 drums in 1 drum, all by installing the Zikit Pro Kit system inside your drum. Now there's 2 ways to buy the Zikit Pro Kit system. One, pre-installed in a drum like this beautiful Sonor AQ2. This Sonor AQ2 drum is a all maple snare drum, great cracking sound. It's a 6x14, beautiful finish, tune-safe Sonor lugs, a great throw-off and strainer, a real quality snare drum on its own. Add the Zikit system on the inside, and man, you can do all kinds of great things with 1 drum. The other way to buy the Zikit system is on its own, and you can install it in virtually any other kind of snare drum, metal shell or wood shell. So you heard me play the drum a little bit with the snare wires on and snare wires off, but now we got to see what this is all about. So I'm going to take the head off the drum and show you what the Zikit system is all about. And there you have it. It's a really sleek looking system on the inside of the drum. Here's the crank on the side of the drum. You can see the gear on the inside. When I turn the crank one way or the other, you'll see the hoop spin, which is raising it up towards the head. Pretty simple, but ingenious system. Now you really can't turn the crank too far. When you turn it one way or the other, it'll stop when it gets to its right spot. Just like that. It's pretty easy to do, and while I was playing, it was very simple to play and change the pitch of the drum, in the middle of playing. You could do that in the middle of a song. Of course, you can do this in the studio when you want to have different sounds while you're stopping and starting a song. But again, it's really easy to change the pitch of the drum right away. The system is held on by 4 lug bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all you need. With the crank, you're good to go. Now, like I said earlier, this one's pre-installed in this beautiful Sonor snare drum, but you can buy the system on its own and install it in virtually any other drum. And again, metal or wood shell. They give you all the tools you need in the system to install it on your drum. You get a jig. This is the most important part. A lot of people are gonna be afraid, I have to drill my own drum, Nick? What are you, crazy? I don't want to drill a hole in my drum. Well, they make it very simple to do because of the jig you get. You find the spot on your shell where you want to drill the hole. The jig sets on the side of the shell, connects to 2 lugs so it can't move. You tighten it up on the outside and the inside of the shell, and then you connect your own drill and it goes right through the shell. You can't really mess up because it's already set in place. So they make this system very cool and easy to install yourself. Once you get the hole drilled, you install the crank, you install the system on the 4 lug points, put your head back on, and make some music. One thing I will mention while the head's still off the drum, while you're playing the drum, the diameter is getting smaller. So the center point of your snare drum is also getting smaller, just like if you had a 10-inch snare drum, right? You have a less surface area to play on. So when you're playing the drum in its 10-inch position, say, if you hit the side of the drum on the outside of where the shell is on the inside, if that makes sense, the sound's not going to be as full or as pure. So play in the center of the drum for the fullest, purest sound. And then when you set the drum back to its pure setting, the 14-inch size, you can obviously use the whole drum, play all the way to the edge, and get buzz rolls and do anything you need with the whole drum surface. Okay, I put the head back on the drum, as you can tell here, and I wanted to take a quick second to talk about the tuning of the drum, because you want to give the drum room to grow as you raise the pitch going from the 12 to the 10. I put the tuning of the drum where I feel is right sort of in the middle. This maple shell on the AQ2 here has a great sound, so you can definitely crank it up high and get a nice crack to it, or go even lower to get a nice thuddy tone. But again, right in the middle is where I think it sounds cool for this particular demonstration. And here's what it sounds like where I got it. Nice ring to the drum, nice sustain. There's also no dampening on the drum. As you can tell, it's wide open. But now, when I crank it up to the 12 and the 10, there's still room for the drum to grow in pitch. Here we go. It's a very pleasant sound. You definitely still hear the snare buzz going on the bottom of the drum. It has a nice pitch to it. Now let's crank it up to the 10-inch. It's nice and high-pitched and cracking. It's great because the drum is still super sensitive when you play softly at the 10-inch setting. I think it's really cool. Now let me turn the snare wires off and do the same thing. Here's the 14-inch position. The shell on this Sonor drum sounds great with the snare wires off. Now up to the 12-inch. It deadens the drum a little bit, but there's still a nice wide open tone. You hear some sustain and you still hear the roundness of the drum shell. Now up to the 10-inch setting. Really cool. Also, one last thing to mention. I'm going to turn the snare wires on. You can still tune the drum with the system engaged. So it's in the 10-inch setting right now. Say you want a little bit higher, just go for it. So you don't have to take it back down to the 14-inch setting like the normal setting and tune it there and then bring it up. You can tune the drum wherever the system is engaged. And there you have it, everybody, the Zikit Pro Kit snare drum system. This one installed in this beautiful Sonor AQ2 snare drum, or you can buy the system on its own and install it in your own snare drum, metal or wood shell. If you want to find out any more information about this Zikit snare drum system, just contact a Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click right here for more videos just like this one, or go to sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.